From the weather team you can trust, here's Chief Meteorologist Eric Sneidel.
Could this be the end of a heat wave? I think it probably will. We did 90 degrees again at the airport today. That marked 4 consecutive days of at least 90 degrees. We only needed 3 to make it a heat wave, but I do believe we're going to stop at 4. Highly doubt we make it 5 tomorrow with some relatively cooler and less humid air that will end up being on the way. I want to point this out too. Another thing that's going to be on the way going into our weekend. Wildfire smoke. And it's not just wildfire smoke coming from Canada. There's a piece part of that, but also there's some homegrown contributions from this farther off into the western half of the United States. Between those two realities, I think you're going to end up seeing some haze in the sky. Nothing that's going to end up precluding a fireworks display, anything like that. But you'll definitely notice it with our sunrises and our sunsets. A lot of us noticed this too. These were damage reports today from our earlier afternoon thunderstorms that came racing in. A lot of these would be trees, branches coming down. There was a point that Monroe County alone had over 5,000 power outages, 5,000 customers without power. Greece especially was one of the harder hit spots. And this is what you do when you get this hot and humid. Storms that fire have a tendency to misbehave. Now, I'm not telling you there's no chance of rain for the better part of tonight. That would be inaccurate. There's going to be a chance of a shower or storm. And through most of the day tomorrow, that will qualify here too. But I still think most of the day is going to end up being dry for any one specific point location. Into the afternoon, that'll be your greatest coverage of thunderstorms that show up here. Odds are we are not dealing with severe weather. The chance is not 0, but overall it's a lower chance. Remember, we're not as hot and humid, so instability is not going to be quite as robust. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of you who have outdoor plans in the afternoon probably still need to keep an eye to the sky. It's good news, though, getting those storms to rain themselves out and stabilize the atmosphere by the time the sun goes down, which would buy a lot of you a ticket to a fireworks display Saturday evening and night that would not have to be ruined by rainfall. So pick your poison here in terms of timing with that. Could be a couple of leftover showers on Sunday. Most of our guidance kind of keeps things suppressed farther off to the south, but another wave of energy starts riding northward again into Sunday night and Monday, and this is where we center around the idea of maybe another day of showers and storms. And there's a decent chance that Monday's rain chance overall is going to be a little bit of a higher tier here, more of a steadier variety to some of that rainfall, but that's back to Monday. We're not going to have to deal with that into the weekend. To reiterate, for your 4th of July, highest rain chance probably in this time frame from about noon to 4 p.m. and then 8 o'clock and beyond we start to dry things back out. Dew points and temperatures on their way back down as we enter next week. Beyond Monday's rainfall, you know, it's not that it's not going to feel like summer. It's still going to be in the 80s with a dew point in the 60s. It'll be summery, but it's not going to be extreme heat warning criteria kind of summery around here. And look at Tuesday with a high of only 81 and what appears to be a fair amount of sunshine through most of next week.